Today on the show, your local election headquarters breaks down the numbers from the first day of early voting. Also, here's your chance to enjoy a night out at the ballpark, but in a slightly different way. And Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg lies in state in the U.S. Capitol, the first woman to ever receive this honor. But first tonight, Peoria County now under a COVID-19 warning. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Sheehan. Eugene has the night off. The Illinois Department of Health announcing today 17 counties in Illinois are considered to be at a warning level for the virus. IDPH says college parties, college sports, large gatherings, weddings, and long-term care facilities are all common factors for the surge of cases. A county is considered to be in the warning level when at least two metrics are triggered. Those include weekly positivity, new cases per 100,000 people, hospital availability, and emergency room visits. Here's a look at COVID-19 numbers reported in our area today. Tri-County health officials reporting 83 new cases across the three counties. No deaths related to the virus being reported in the last 24 hours. Out of the 5,500 people infected, over 81% have beaten the virus. McLean County reporting 19 new cases. The positivity rate going back down, now sitting at 3.3%. That's down from 4.1% reported yesterday. And across the state, Illinois health officials reporting over 2,500 new cases and 25 deaths. The 7-day positivity rate for the state going up from yesterday, now sitting at 3.6%. Well, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg spent her life breaking down barriers and leading the charge for the underrepresented. Even in her death, she's breaking another barrier. Christina Ruffini has more details from Capitol Hill.
Ready, step.
Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's casket arrived on Capitol Hill, where she's the first woman to lie in state at the U.S. Capitol.
She does so on a catafalque built for Abraham Lincoln. May she rest in peace.
Justice Ginsburg is also the first Jewish person to lie in state. Rabbi Lauren Holtzblatt officiated the ceremony.
All the days of her life, she pursued justice, even in illness. She fought 5 bouts with cancer.
She talked about the many obstacles Justice Ginsburg faced in her life and how she viewed defeats, even in the court, as a path for a better future.
The greatest dissents do become court opinions, and gradually, over time, their views become the dominant view, so that the dissenters hope that they are writing not for today, but for tomorrow.
Only one other Supreme Court justice has been given this high honor. That was Chief Justice William Howard Taft, who was also the 27th President of the United States. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden joined the Ginsburg family and members of Congress to celebrate her life and 27 years of service on the High Court. She will be buried in a private ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. Christina Ruffini, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
There were a few notable absences from today's ceremony, including Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Well, the Peoria family is upset after they say they were told to take down a memorial for their son. Stacy Johnson King says on Sunday, Peoria police called to tell her the memorial at Griswold and Grinnell would be taken down Monday morning. She says it was a hurtful experience. Her son, Percy L. King IV, was killed in May. King says she does not know why her son's memorial was targeted and hopes this doesn't happen again.
It was hurtful, and it was wrong for them to do that without giving us enough time or even giving us a reason why they were removing the items.
A Peoria police spokesperson says the memorial had deflated balloons, burnt candles, and empty alcohol bottles. First District Councilwoman Denise Moore says the city has no ordinances for how memorials are handled. She says she's spoken with police and wants increased sensitivity around these issues. She also says the city needs to set forth guidelines for how to handle memorials. Well, more protests and arrests in Louisville overnight, with many people still upset that the officers who returned fire at Breonna Taylor's apartment were not charged in her death. This morning, the family of the 26-year-old EMT addressed the media. Jerica Duncan is following the story in Louisville.
Breonna Taylor's family spoke out publicly this morning for the first time since a grand jury decided not to indict any of the officers for Taylor's death.
I hope you never know the pain of your child being murdered 191 days in a row. Tamika Palmer. I am so sorry. So sorry you got to go through this.
Say her name.
Family attorney Ben Crump calls the situation a grave miscarriage of justice.
What kind of sham grand jury proceeding was this? Breonna's legacy will be that black women life matters too.
The mood here in Louisville remains tense with more protests on the streets Thursday night. Demonstrations began peacefully but escalated after the 9 p.m. curfew. Police started arresting protesters, including some carrying hammers and spray paint. A local church offered sanctuary for other protesters, but police arrested many outside. As protests continue, a lawyer for Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly has shared this video from the apparent raid in March that killed Taylor. It shows the moments after Mattingly was shot by Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, who says he fired his gun thinking the officers were intruders. One of the Louisville officers shot during the protests made an appearance at work yesterday. Both officers are expected to recover. The 9 p.m. curfew will remain in place throughout the weekend. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, Louisville, Kentucky.
Taylor's family wants the state attorney general to release the transcripts of the grand jury proceeding. In the Twin Cities, Cadillac Jacks and the city of Bloomington settling their dispute over the bar's violations of the city's COVID-19 safety regulations. According to the Bloomington mayor, the bar paying the city a $1,500 fine to retain its liquor license. A week ago, the bar was cited by Bloomington police for violating mask ordinances, resulting in the bar's owner having to face the city's liquor commission in order to continue legally serving alcohol. Now, this settlement allows Cadillac Jacks to continue operations as normal. Mayor Terry Renner telling WMBD over text message, quote, "We all have to do better in complying with COVID rules." Cadillac Jacks declined to comment. Well, we are your local election headquarters. Local election boards are seeing large numbers of early voters. Crowds of people packed into the Peoria County Election Office today, more than 6 times the amount of early voters casting their ballots compared to 2016. Executive Director Thomas Bride explains why there's such a turnout.
I think it's just a lot of buildup. There's been just a tremendous amount of news. I think there's enthusiasm, and people have been impatient and waiting for it. I think they see other states have started voting, so they're ready to vote. So the first day they all showed up.
Over in Woodford County, they had about 100 people cast an early ballot. Get the latest early voting numbers on our website, ciproud.com. The Southside Mission in Peoria is changing the way it operates this Thanksgiving. Due to the ongoing pandemic, they will not bring in as many volunteers this season. Nonprofit leaders say about 2/3 of the regular amount of meals will be served. Development manager Rich Drager explains the system in place to distribute the meals.
Folks will just come and pull up in their cars. It will actually even have a drive-through set up for them, so they won't have to get out of their cars. We'll have staff and volunteers that will actually come, and if each family delivers 4 to 8 meals, we'll actually place the meals in their trunk or in their vehicle, so those that are delivering the meals can be safe as well.
You can also get your meals delivered by a volunteer. If you would like to volunteer, you can get that information on our website, ciproud.com. After the break, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates has your full weather forecast when we come back.